Ever look at your wallets and wonder, why does it feel like there's a black hole in here? Or why is everything so darn expensive? We've all been there, especially in 2023. So let's dive into the mystery of the hour. Why do we all feel like we have less money to spend in 2023? Why do we still feel strapped for cash despite working hard and cutting back on luxuries? It's like we're trying to run a marathon with ankle weights. So, what's weighing us down? Today, we'll take you on a journey to uncover the 3 hidden forces that make our wallets feel lighter and our brows sweatier. But before we reveal these forces, let's time travel back to a few years ago. Picture the world grappling with a global pandemic. Governments forced companies to shut down production and sent everybody home. This caused supply chain disruptions and led policymakers to take unprecedented financial measures to help people affected by the lockdowns. Imagine you're at your favorite grocery store, and your usual basket of goods, which used to cost you about $100 in 2019, now costs around $119 in 2023. You haven't changed your diet, and the grocery store hasn't upgraded. But the price? Oh, it certainly has. So if you feel like your money doesn't stretch as far as it used to, you're not alone. Welcome to the world of inflation. Inflation refers to the gradual increase in the overall prices of goods and services, making it seem like you're getting less for your money. It's like being at a magic show where your money keeps disappearing. Economists measure it using indicators like the Consumer Price Index, or CPI for short. In 2023, the inflation show was in full swing, peaking at a jaw-dropping 9%. That's way over the Federal Reserve's usual target of 2%. Even though it's cooled off as of mid-2023, it's still stubbornly hanging above this target. This means that the $100 that could get you a whole basket of groceries in 2019 can now only get you about 84% of that. In essence, your money doesn't go as far as it used to, which is why you feel like you have less to spend. But why did the cost of our grocery basket and everything else increase? Remember those stimulus checks we were so grateful for? They came with a hidden cost. With the US government's massive stimulus program, the Fed printed a lot of money, and a significant portion of it was gifted to households affected by the pandemic. The government made over 476 million payments, totaling a staggering $814 billion to be exact. It's like we suddenly found ourselves in an auction where everyone had extra cash to spend, but the items to bid on remained the same or were available in lesser quantities. So, naturally, everyone had to bid higher to win those prizes, leading to a surge in prices. Internationally, things weren't too rosy either. China's lockdown led to a nosedive in manufacturing, which reduced supply meaningfully. On the other hand, the Russia-Ukraine war added its bit to the mix. Ukraine is one of the world's most significant producers of agricultural products, and supply was considerably reduced because of the ongoing war. While we had more money to spend, the number of goods available didn't quite keep up. Remember when China went into lockdown? Their manufacturing came to a screeching halt, reducing the number of goods produced. Moreover, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war added fuel to the fire. Ukraine, a significant global producer of agricultural products, could not maintain its usual supply due to the conflict. So, when demand outpaced supply, prices naturally shot up. And that's why your grocery basket and everything else is pricier now. Now, picture yourself in the midst of a game, and midway through, the rules change, making scoring harder. Annoying, right? That's what higher interest rates feel like, especially when you have loans to repay. This is the second reason you might feel the squeeze on your wallet: the rise in interest rates. To understand this, let's talk about 2 significant players in the economic game: the government and the central bank. In our case, the Federal Reserve, or the Fed. Together, they're like the umpires of our economic game, and they adjust the rules to keep the game fair and balanced for everyone. They aim to ensure economic stability and manage things like inflation through monetary policy. The rules of the economic game. One of the primary tools in the Fed's monetary policy toolkit is the ability to set the interest rate, at which banks lend money to each other overnight, known as the federal funds rate. Now, you might wonder, what does that have to do with me? This rate indirectly influences the interest rate you pay on your loans, like your mortgage or your car loan. When inflation is high, as we've seen in recent years, the Fed can step in and increase the federal funds rate. In doing so, they make borrowing more expensive and saving more attractive. It's like increasing the difficulty level in our game to slow down the scoring frenzy. So, what does this mean for you? Say you took out a 30-year mortgage in 2019 with an interest rate of 4%, and now it's increased by another 5% for a new rate of 9%. If your original mortgage was $300,000, your monthly payments would have increased from about $1,430 to approximately $2,410. That's an extra $980 every month, meaning you have much less to spend on other things. This drop in disposable income is why you may be running out of money more quickly. This policy can help restore balance between supply and demand. When borrowing becomes more expensive, people spend less, leading to a decrease in demand. This slowdown in spending helps cool down the economy and brings inflation under control so the prices don't continue to skyrocket. While these changes might seem tough in the short run, they are designed to create a more balanced and sustainable economy. These adjustments can feel painful, but remember, they are part of the game's rules, aiming for long-term stability and growth. The third reason people feel a financial squeeze in 2023 is the winding down of financial assistance programs. The US government has been borrowing more and more money for years to finance its huge deficit. However, in June of 2023, we hit the debt ceiling, the limit set by Congress on the amount of money the federal governments may borrow. To address this, Congress suspended the debt ceiling until 2025 because the Democrats promised to restrict spending. What does that mean for you and me? Unfortunately, we can't rely on those generous government stimulus checks any longer. In addition, the freeze on student loan repayments has been lifted. If you're one of the millions of Americans who owe student loans, you'll need to factor these repayments back into your budget. That's a chunk of your income that you might have been using for other things, which is now going back into debt repayment. It's no surprise that the personal savings rate for Americans is at its lowest in 15 years. It tells us that, on average, people are saving less and spending more of their income just to keep up with their regular expenses. So, what's on the horizon? Well, history has shown us the dangers of letting inflation run wild. Ask Zimbabwe or Venezuela. That's why the Fed has hinted that it will likely further raise interest rates later this year to get back to that 2% inflation target. So, while it's painful now, controlling inflation is crucial for our financial health in the long term. And that's a wrap for today, folks. Do you have your own experiences or tips to share? Drop them in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more enlightening content. Until next time, stay curious, keep investing, and keep learning.